Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramartanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Om Sri Ramakrishna Paramatmane Namaha. Brother Purnananji and dear devotees and children, today we are celebrating Sri Krishna Janamashtami, meaning that on the Ashtami Tithi, Bhagavan Sri Krishna took birth. So the birth of the great Avatara Purushas are really puzzling. The question comes in the Bhagavatam itself that how the Supreme Paramatma, which is infinite, which is present everywhere, which is all powerful, can take and be circumscribed in a small body of 6 feet or 8 feet. How can the infinity be enclosed in a form? So this is a very philosophical question. This has been coming from ages together. Even today, you find some of the scientists are questioning this idea that the infinity can be made into finite. But Sri Ramakrishna gives us a beautiful example. He says that you are standing somewhere, in front of you there is a big screen or a big wall, and beyond that wall there's so many things are happening, so wonderful things are happening which you cannot see. But then if there is a small hole in the wall, through that hole you can see what all happening beyond the wall. So he says this Avatara Purusha, that is the incarnation, the divine incarnation, is like the small hole. So through him you can get the glimpses of infinity. So it's a very beautiful Avatara Tattva, it is called. So through that small hole, through that Avatara, you can get the glimpses of what infinity could be. So in one of the stages that the Supreme Paramatman decided to come in the human form, and that was the occasion during this, just before the Dwapara Yuga ending. Today is his birthday. So let us think little about the circumstances how Sri Krishna was born. It's a very interesting story as told in Bhagavatam. I am repeating to you. The story says that in one of the lands called Mathura, there was a king. The king name was Kans. Kans actually was the son of another great king. His name was Ugrasena. So Ugrasen was a wonderful king. He was not only ruling the country very nicely on a dharmic principles, but also he was very kind to the people. He used to go and attend to the peoples, and particularly he had great veneration for sadhus, mahatmas, and those who are in dharmic way leading their life. So he would go and encourage them. So such a wonderful man had a son, and his name was Kans. Now this Kans was a good boy. He grew up very nicely. But then at the adulthood age, he had some very bad friends coming together. One of them is Chanur. Krishna, Kansa Chanura Mardhanam. We say that Chanur was one of his ministers. He became his minister also. So Kans was given wrong advices, and he started gathering through the bad company. As a man becomes pure and holy when he joins a holy company, likewise, when a man joins a bad company, what happens? His mind becomes polluted. And then he becomes also bad. That's how the Kans became bad. And Kans had a cousin sister. Her name was Devaki. He had so much attraction, so much attention paying to that sister. Whatever the sister would ask him, he would do it. We are all very fond of mangoes. In India, mangoes, there is a special season for mangoes. You don't get in winter mangoes. But then, there is one place in Andhra Pradesh where you get windows all the 12 months. So it is said in the Puranas that once Devaki told her brother, Kans, said, brother, I want to eat mango now. And that was winter time. So what Kansa did, he took the horse and he traveled all the way from Mathura to Andhra and procured those mangoes and brought for her. Such a love for his sister. For his sister, he can do anything. And that was their wonderful sibling nature, that he was so fond of his sister Devaki. And he was telling his father that, look, I am going to conduct the marriage of my sister in the most grandest way, where people would talk about for years and years and years. Not only years, in yugas also we are still talking about that Devaki's marriage. You see how grandly he conducted the marriage. He told, and in the meantime, when the marriage proposals was being conveyed to his father, he deposed his father. Ugrasena was put into jail and he declared himself as a king. Now around him, all the bad elements, the other asuras were there. So nobody could do anything. But the first thing Kans started doing is to torture those who take the name of Narayana. If you say God and if you believe in Narayana, then you will be tortured. That is a punishment. Nobody should take the name, just like a Hiranyakashipu of the Prahlada's father, just like the Kans was. So atrocious he was. And his atrocities were plenty. And everybody started hating the king. Now that was the time when Prithvi Mata went to Lord Brahma in the form of a cow and told her problems. I am unable to stand the atrocities of this king Kans. Do something for that. So Brahma went and told Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu, as a Narayana, he is Antaryami. He knows everyone's ideas. So he understood what Brahma wants to say. Then he told him, don't worry, there is a time. Whoever is born in this world must die. Nobody can escape that. So Kans also has his death from my hands. So don't worry, in his previous birth, I only killed him. So he is going to be killed again by me. So don't worry, I will take birth in the human form. So he assured the Prithvi Mata, that is the earth mother. And then it happened, went on. In the meantime, Kans was planning for his, as I told you, his sister's marriage. So who is the best person at the time? So lot of boys' names came up to whom he should give his sister. But then Kans had one grievance. The grievance was that he is unable to conquer another country which was nearby, and that is called Yadu's country. One great Yadu was there, and his descendants were called Yadavas. So that Yadu's country was there, that could not be accessed by him. So he thought, if I give my sister to Yadu's one of the prince, then that entire kingdom can be taken with me, and I can become the king of that also. So he planned that way. So he chose Vasudeva. Now you see, how does he make this marriage happen? So it said that when Devaki was married to Vasudeva, he gave so many things. The Bhagavata explains that he gave 400 elephants to go with her to Vasudeva's place. That is Devaki's in-laws' place. So he arranged chariots, 150 chariots he arranged. and he decorated a chariot where Devaki and Vasudeva will be taken to that Yadu's capital. Now, with all the things he decided, and he came, and he saw the chariot was ready. The marriage was over, the chariot was ready. And the chariot was ready to start. Kans looked at that charioteer, one who was sitting and going to drive all the way to Vasudev's place. He immediately told that charioteer, "Come down. I will drive this chariot for my sister's sake." What a great attraction, so what a great filial love for his sister. For his sister he could do anything. So he went and sat and removed the charioteer, and he took the reins of the horses. And the conch shells blew, and all the drums were kept, they all blew, the drums were beaten, and the time has come with that Mangala Dhwani, that is auspicious sound, the chariot started. It just began its turn. At that time, suddenly there was a sound, a voice. It's called Ashariri. That means, Shariri means, with the body. Ashariri means without body. Suppose a sound comes. The sound does not have any body. It's called Ashariri, a voice without form. That voice announced, "Hey, fool." It said, to whom it is telling, everybody was stunned. And Kans looked at above on the clouds. The sound came from the clouds. It said, "Hey, fool, you do not know. The 8th child of your sister is going to be your death." That's all. The sound stopped. And the moment he heard this, immediately, as I told you, Kans has developed a lot of bad qualities, and he was an asura. So what he did, immediately he thought, the one thought came, 8th child of my sister is going to kill me. But then, only if she lives till that time. Why not I kill her just now? So he took away the hands from the reins, and he took his sword, and he was about to kill his sister. The sword came up to the neck. That's what Bhagavatam says. And immediately, next to her, who was sitting? The new groom, that is who has married Devaki. Vasudeva was sitting. Immediately Vasudeva sprang on his feet and stopped his brother-in-law and held his hands very forcefully and said, "Kans, you are king. What are you going to do? You are killing a woman. How shameful it is. And over and above, she is your sister. Your own sister you are going to kill. That's very bad. And if you want to take my life, you take it, but not hers." He offered his life. And then Kans said, "See, what I heard from the heavens, that sound must be true. So I don't want her 8th child to kill me. What is the solution then?" He said, "Don't worry, my brother-in-law. Every child that is born, I will bring it to you. And you do what you want to do." Kans was pacified. Then he allowed the chariot to go away. Now 1 year after, the first child was born to Devaki. Devaki had, as per the voice in the heavens, she had 8 children, no doubt. But the 7th child was aborted. That also must be noted. Not the full child was there, it was aborted. And then 8th child also she got. But then the first child was born. One day Kans was in his big palace and he was looking at the administration, etc. of the state. At that time, all the ministers were sitting. He saw Vasudeva was slowly entering the palace. And what he brought? He brought the first child and gave it in his hand. That was his nephew. He took the baby in his hand, one day baby, and he saw the baby, so beautiful baby. And he said, "What? This baby, should I kill it?" "No." Then he gave back to Vasudeva, said, "Take it away. I am not going to kill. Let me wait for the 8th child." He became so nice. And in the Bhagavatam it says, Kans was talking to Vasudeva. So nice words he was telling. How do you expect me to be so cruel to kill a baby like this? All those things he has told. But then his intention was to kill the 8th baby. So he gave back that baby. So Vasudeva took the baby and went away. At that time, the Narad Muni comes. Narada, wherever he goes, he creates some confusion, it said. But the confusion will end in for the good of the person. No, it is not a bad, God bless. It is not a bad thing. So the Narad came. And Narad started talking to Kans. Kans knows Narad goes all the 3 worlds. So he has got a lot of news, He is the news gatherer. So Kans said, come on, tell me, what are the news about Devaloka? Then he said, oh, Devaloka, I went to Vishnu Loka. And all the Devatas are talking about you only. I said, me? What is it? They are thinking when you are going to die. I said, so Devatas are so bad. They are thinking about my death. Yes. And who is helping, Narayana himself is helping them. Narayana says that he is going to come in the form of a human and going to kill you. Then he immediately understood the sound of that heavens, that is going to be true. Then he became little nervous. Then he asked Narad Rishi, hey Rishi, tell me, the 8th child is only going to kill me. So I released the first child. Let me wait for the 8th child of Devaki. He said, you are making a great mistake. Because Devatas are very cunning people. They can plan and they can make anything. You see, these combinations of 1, 2, 3, you are thinking the first child is born. So 1, 2, 3, you will count on the 8th, and the 8th child is going to be a death for you. No. Suppose you start the number 1 from the 3rd child. Then the 2nd child becomes the 8th. So the calculation goes average. You cannot keep the right calculation. Devatas are very, very clever people. And they can calculate in any way. So don't think that the 8th child is going to come. It might have already come. Then Kans got awakened by this. He said, do you mean to say that I should kill this child also? He said, no, I am not telling you to kill. But I am only giving the suggestion. Now what you do is yours. Because the sin of suggesting also is bad, you see. So I am not in this picture. I only told the Devatas mental. And then he went away. Then Kans, naturally, has got a lot of advisors. He consulted them. And this Chanu is a very bad man. He said, what Narada says may be true. The Devas are very cunning. So, let us kill from the number 1 onwards. So again, Kans went, arrested Devaki and Vasudeva, brought them, and the first child was dashed against a stone. A stone was kept near the prison. That stone you can even see now. When you go to Mathura, the same prison is still there. The prison is there where Krishna was born. And that stone you can see that. So, there, he killed the first child. Like that 2nd child, 3rd child, 4th child. The 7th child came, of course, as I said, it was aborted. So, no child was there. Then 8th child was to be born. So, Kans is getting more nervous and nervous and nervous. And he has been always thinking whether when he gets up from the sleep, when he starts walking, when he is going for a play, when he is going, anything he does, he is only thinking about Narayana. But not with love, with hatred. So much of hatred he developed, but he is thinking all this time, he is thinking. That's why when he dies, he gets a Devata's body and Krishna gives him flowers and sends him to heaven. So all those things we see later. But then now Kans is only thinking about Narayana, when Narayana is going to come and kill him. And then the time came, and Devaki got the 8th child, and 8th child was to be born. Any day it can be born. So he was waiting for the news from the prison. Now things are going on. Here in the prison, it's absolutely dark prison. There is no light also. There, suddenly Devaki saw, to her disbelief, Narayana himself appeared to her in a small child form, like this child. He is standing with Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. He is standing there with the 4 arms. And Narayana is telling Devaki, Devaki, you have forgotten your previous birth. You were actually the wife of a Manu. And I am telling you, remembering the story, my birth to you is not an ordinary birth. It is a divine birth. You only wanted in your previous birth that you want a child equal to me. Because you put such a condition, equal to me, and I am searching all over the universe, who is equal to me? Then I found none is equal to me. So I must be born to you. So I am going to be born now as a child to you. So I am coming, he said, and then he disappeared. Then Devaki understood Narayana, who was his Ishta Devata, and Vasudeva also Ishta Devata was Narayana. So they both of them said, Lord is going to be born to ours as a child. What a wonderful blessing it is. And then she gave birth to a baby, beautiful baby. At that time, Bhagavatam explains that the entire universe became so sweet. The waters in the rivers, waters in the ponds, waters everywhere, the water bodies, the universe became so sweet. And then everywhere flowers have come. It is the August month usually, now autumn you can say, or spring just going over. And then our spring is coming in India. So you can see that everywhere flowers are there. And flowers have come. And he is telling that the Bhagavatam says that the Kinnaras, the Gandharvas, and all those super bodies, those who are having super bodies, not the human bodies, they are all praising the name of the Lord. They are speaking the glory of the Lord. At that time, on Ashtami Tithi, at the midnight, Sri Krishna was born. A personality which is a divine, as I told you, the Paramatma, who doesn't have birth at all. And he takes birth. This is the most mysterious portion of this Avatara Tattva. When you think of this Avatara, again and again, you'll be puzzled how a infinity can become a finite, can come and take a birth. And that magic has happened on this Ashtami Tithi today. So he was born. And when he was born, he started talking to Vasudeva. Vasudeva was praising the Lord. Oh Lord, you have come to me as my son. What blessings I have done. What good things I have done in my previous birth, that you have been so kind to me, etc., etc. He is praising. Then the Lord said, don't waste time. Take me to the other side of the Yamuna river, where Nanda Gopa is waiting. Nanda Gopa's wife Yashoda has given birth at the same time, a girl child. Take me and put me there and bring the girl child here, and that is what your duty now. So there was a small basket was there. He put some cloth on the basket and put the child, and then he took it on his head. And Vasudeva now thinking, how do I go? Because my feet are all entangled by chains. At that moment, when he took the child in his hand, all the chains just cut off. One by one, chains got cut off. And he stood up. First time he is standing up in that. And the whole prison was so lighted. Bhagavatam says, about 1,000 suns have come into that place. In one sun itself, how much light you can see. Think of 1,000 suns. 1,000 suns have come and they are all there. So now, in that light, he came out. How did he come out? It says, the big locks that are put outside doors, they are one by one opened on its own. The locks got opened, the doors opened, and Vasudeva started walking out, and he reached the bank of Yamuna river. Yamuna is a sister of Lord Yama, that you all know. So, she is so happy. She has understood, because the whole universe has understood that Narayana has taken birth in the form of Krishna. So she was thinking, first time Krishna has come out and I must be the first person to look at him. So she was very happy. So she bounced her waves up and up to get darshan of Sri Krishna. But then she could not see Krishna because she has to allow Vasudeva to walk through the waters. So she gave space, and Vasudeva is walking in the knee-deep water, he was walking. But she could not raise her floods level, because if it does, then Vasudeva will get drowned. So she was very cautious. But then she wanted to see. There is a beautiful Surdas song is there, where he says, this Yamuna Maya, that is the mother Yamuna, was so fond of Krishna's form, that child form. She wanted to see. And she was trying to see, but then she could not see. So she became so disheartened. And she is telling, "Oh Lord Narayana, you are born today, and I could not see your face. I could not see your body also. When can I see you?" Like that, she was very much agitated. And her waves were coming bigger and bigger and bigger in the back. And when once she rose to the basket level, the baby, as so kind to her, he put his foot out of this basket. And she touched his foot. That is the beauty, And when Surdas sings this, we all shed tears. How Lord is so compassionate to the devotee. Because the devotee could not see the Lord himself says, "Okay, you could not see me, don't worry, I am giving my foot." So the foot was kept outside the basket, and she splashed water on his foot, and she cleaned the foot. That's what it says. And then it was terribly raining. Vasudeva saw a dark snake is coming from the water, and it is raising, and the snake is so huge, 1,000 hoods it has got. It's called Adisesha. The snake, first Vasudeva got a little afraid, but then it came and went behind and put as an umbrella to Vasudeva as well as to the baby. And with that he walked. And when he went to Nandagopal's place, as usual, everybody was asleep, because it was about maybe 1 o'clock or so. All were asleep. So he quietly went there to Nandagopal's place, and he found Yashoda's room. Yashoda has just delivered a baby girl. So he put Krishna there, and he took this baby girl and came away as he went. And when he entered the prison back again, the prison doors got locked automatically. The chains came and automatically went into his hands and feet, and he was sitting there keeping this baby girl next to Devaki. And the baby girl started crying. When the babies are born, they start crying. And the crying must be done. If you don't cry, then it is a disease. They will find something wrong with the baby. So the baby started crying. Immediately, the news went to Kans. And Kans and Chanur, both of them came there. They looked at the baby, but it was a baby girl. Kans looked at Chanur. "Hey Chanur, what is the matter? The 8th son, did he not say? The voice did not say 8th son, but this is a girl." The Chanur says, "No, it did not say 8th son. It said 8th issue. 8th child only it said. So it did not say 8th son. Whether it's a son or girl, it's a danger. 8th it is. So it must be danger to you. So kill this child also." So immediately he took the baby, in spite of Devaki's too much of her rushing tears, and she was begging her brother, "Don't kill this child. It is a girl child. A girl child should not be killed. And it's a great sin for you." All those things she said nothing. 8th child should not be my death. I am going to be the death of this 8th child. So he took the child and held that baby on her 2 feet and raised the baby so that he can dash it on the rock. At that time, one miracle happened. The baby slipped from his hands and went on the sky and became Durga with the 8 arms, with all the astras and the shastras. And Durga was standing there. And she's not standing, she was sitting on the line. And she said, "Hey fool, who is going to kill you is growing up in some other place. I am not your death." And she disappeared. Then he came to senses. Oh, now the 8th child is somewhere else. How the 8th child was not born to Devaki, which is going to kill me? That doubt also was there with him. But later these are all cleared by Narad. When he comes Narad the second time, he clarifies everything to him. So he gets to know, then the Krishna was there, his killer. So now you see, the whole story starts with a dramatic opening. Krishna's story is something, any time you hear or every time you hear, it is new to us. I have been reading this chapter 3 of the Bhagavatam, of the 10th Skanda. Every time, any time I read it, I feel it is so joyful, it's so wonderful. Why? The very name Krishna comes from the Sanskrit root, dhatu as we call it. That dhatu is karsh. Krish means karshan. Karshan means attraction, dragging, grabbing. So Karshan Shakti is called Krishna. So that's why Krishna is attracting everybody all over the world. Even recently in Russia, when I entered into a tram, and the people who are there, they saluted me and said, Hare Krishna, they said. So Krishna's name is everywhere. And everywhere you see that Krishna is attracting. And is attracting everyone. So that is the word meaning. Karshan, because of Karshana, because of attraction. So gravitation. Even the gravitation pull, we have got in Hindi, in Sanskrit, we have the same word, Karshan Shakti. It's called gravitation. What is gravitation? It attracts you. It attracts every object on this earth. The earth has got a gravitation pull, as it is called. So the gravitation pull keeps us everyone. So likewise, that everywhere you find that Karshana, that attractive Shakti is there. And Krishna has become he is the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu among the 10 glorified avatars. Of course, the Bhagavatam itself says that avatars are many in number. Not only 10, many in number. But 10 avatars are spoken specifically so that we can get an idea. So there are many avatars are there of the divine incarnation. So out of that, 8th is Lord Krishna's. And due to Krishna's birth, you will find everywhere there is a great resurgence in art, in music, in any type of fine arts you take, where Krishna must come. And folk art, there are so many folk stories around Krishna. During Vrindavan, etc., if you see, during this time, the Krishna Ashtami, the 8 days, there used to be Krishna Gatha. Krishna stories are enacted as dramas. Everywhere you find Krishna's name is taken and Krishna Japa is to be done. So today is a wonderful, yesterday started the Ashtami, and today of course Navami has fallen now, but today till morning the Ashtami Tithi was there. So the Ashtami Tithi was so wonderful. And this Ashtami Tithi is very greatly recommended for Devi worship also, because Yogamaya, that is the name of the Devi who was born to Yashoda, that also is born on Ashtami. That's why for Devi also, Ashtami Tithi is very important. That's why in Durga Puja time, on Ashtami day, we call it, up to Saptami, we call it, Panchami, Sashti, Saptami. Then when Ashtami comes, we call it Maha Ashtami and Maha Navami. So Maha Ashtami we call it, that's a very important thing. So that Ashtami Tithi is very great, and on that day they say that there are certain spiritual vibrations that are created, and those who are meditative, those who are devoted, they can catch those vibrations. That's why Ashtami Tithi is considered as very important in our lives. So that Ashtami Tithi was born, and Krishna was born, and what a great blessings to all of us. So with these few words, I pray to Lord Krishna to bless all of us. Now I would ask our brother Swami Purnanandji to speak a few words.